The waves broke gently on the shore as Alejandro walked along the beach, breathing in the salty air that filled his lungs. It was a sunny, calm afternoon in the small seaside town. His eyes fell on a lone figure sitting on the sand, contemplating the horizon. Intrigued by her presence, he slowly approached. It was Carolina. Her dark hair waved in the sea breeze, and her eyes shone with a mixture of melancholy and hope. Alejandro felt attracted by the aura of mystery and delicacy that surrounded her. He decided to approach and, with a friendly smile, said, "Hi, do you mind if I sit next to you?" Carolina looked up and met deep, warm blue eyes that looked at her with sympathy. She nodded and softly said, "Sure, have a seat." From that moment on, their conversations flowed with surprising ease. They talked about their lives, their dreams, and their deepest desires. They discovered that they had many things in common, despite having led such different lives until then. It was as if fate had decided to cross their paths on that golden beach. Over time, the conversations became more intimate, and they both felt they were sharing secrets they had never revealed to anyone else before. They realized that they were falling in love, that something magical was happening between them. But they were also aware that Alejandro had to leave on his next trip. The day of departure came all too soon. Alejandro looked at Carolina with sadness in his eyes and said, "I don't want to leave, but I must. But I promise that we will keep in touch and that I will come back to see you, no matter how long it takes." Carolina smiled tenderly and nodded, understanding the nature of Alejandro's work. She knew she could not hold him, but she also knew that the love they had discovered was too strong to be forgotten by distance. During his time at sea, Alejandro thought of Carolina constantly. Every wave that broke against the ship seemed to whisper her name, and every star that shone in the night sky reminded him of his love for her. He wrote passionate letters in every port he visited, describing to her the majesty of the places he explored, but also expressing his longing to see her again. Carolina looked forward to every letter and every phone call. Every word written by Alejandro made her feel closer to him, and every word whispered over the phone filled her with warmth and joy. Despite the physical distance, their love bloomed like a garden in spring. But there were also difficult times. There were days when phone connections were weak and calls were cut off, leaving them with an emptiness in their hearts. There were times when letters were delayed and uncertainty consumed them. However, they always found the strength to overcome those obstacles, reminding each other that their love was stronger than any challenge. Meanwhile, time marched on and Alejandro longed for the day when he would be together with Carolina again. He dreamed of the moment when he would finally embrace her again, feeling her presence close to him and not just through written or spoken words. Finally, the day came when Alejandro returned to the mainland. His heart was pounding as he made his way to the beach where they had met. From afar, he could see Carolina waiting for him with open arms and a radiant smile. He ran towards her, feeling the sand beneath his feet as the world faded away around him. They hugged each other tightly, as if they never wanted to let go. In that moment, they knew they had overcome all the trials and obstacles that distance had imposed on them. The sea breeze caressed their faces as they looked into each other's eyes, knowing that they had finally achieved what seemed impossible. Their love was a beacon that had guided them through the storms of the ocean and brought them back home to each other. In that instant, Alejandro and Carolina knew that their passionate, long-distance love was not just a story of meetings and goodbyes, but a story of eternal love. And together, they walked towards a new horizon, ready to face any challenge that the future would bring. After their long-awaited reunion, Alejandro and Carolina plunged into a new stage of their relationship. They were determined to make their love work, despite the adversities that life presented them. Together, they began to weave the threads of their dreams and build a shared future. Alejandro found a job on land, near the port where they used to walk together. Although he missed the sea, he knew that being close to Carolina was worth it. Every night, after their workday, they would get together to enjoy long walks along the beach, remembering the moments they had shared and dreaming of those yet to come. Carolina, for her part, dedicated herself to her career as a fashion designer. Her talent and passion for the art of tailoring led her to open her own workshop. In each creation, she reflected the love and inspiration that Alejandro had given her. Her designs were a reflection of their love story, full of vibrant colors and delicate details. Together, Alejandro and Carolina supported each other's goals and dreams. They became each other's support and strength, sharing laughter, tears, and triumphs. Every obstacle they faced was overcome with courage and love, constantly reminding each other that they had overcome distance and that there was nothing they couldn't face together. But as their love grew, so did their desire to start a family. They both longed to have children and to see their love blossom into new generations. They talked about it and decided the time was right to take the next step in their relationship. After months of planning and excitement, Alejandro and Carolina received the news that they were expecting a baby. Happiness filled their hearts and they set about preparing the home for the arrival of the new family member. They painted the room with soft tones and chose every detail with love and dedication. When the day of the birth arrived, Alejandro was present at every moment. He held Carolina's hand tenderly as she gave birth to her little treasure. Tears of joy rolled down their cheeks as they listened to the baby cry, the most beautiful sound they had ever heard in their lives. From that moment on, their love multiplied and manifested itself in the care and tenderness with which they raised their child. Together, they experienced the joys and challenges of parenthood, finding in their family the greatest gift that love had given them. Years passed and their home was filled with laughter and childish antics. Alejandro and Carolina watched their son grow up, becoming a mixture of both, inheriting his father's bravery and passion, as well as his mother's creativity and sweetness. Throughout the years, Alejandro and Carolina never stopped feeding the flame of love in their relationship. They celebrated each anniversary as if it were their first, remembering the day they met and reliving the passionate love that had united them from the beginning. Their story of passionate, long-distance love became a legacy, an example of perseverance and strength for their son and those around them. They proved that true love can overcome any barrier and that when found, it is capable of creating an indestructible bond. And so, Alejandro, Carolina and their son continued to weave dreams together, facing life's challenges with love and courage. They always remembered that their passionate, long-distance love had been the foundation of their story, the beacon that guided them to happiness and fulfillment. As their son grew up and became an independent young man, Alejandro and Carolina felt it was time to fulfill another of their dreams, to embark together on an adventure at sea. They wanted to relive the times when distance separated them, but this time, united in a shared voyage. After much planning and preparation, Alejandro and Carolina embarked on a sailboat, ready to explore new horizons and create memories that would last a lifetime. They set out into the vast ocean, facing strong winds and imposing waves, but always with a smile on their faces. Amidst the vastness of the sea, they found an even deeper connection. They learned to trust each other in a new way, to understand each other without words, and to work as a team to overcome any challenges that came their way. The choppy waters only strengthened their love and bond. Every night, they sat together on the deck of the sailboat, gazing at the starry sky and sharing their deepest dreams. They dreamed of new adventures, of places they had not yet explored, and promised each other that they would continue to sail together, even as wrinkles and time marked their faces. Time at sea gave them a new perspective on life and taught them to cherish every moment. They appreciated the beauty of nature and the fragility of human existence. Every sunset, every encounter with playful dolphins and every storm that challenged their courage reminded them how precious life was and how important it was to live it to the fullest. After several months of sailing, Alejandro and Carolina decided to return to land. Although the sea was their temporary home, they knew there were other dreams they wanted to make come true. They had plans to build a house near the ocean, where they could enjoy the tranquility of the waves and the warm embrace of the sun. Eventually, they fulfilled that dream and settled into their new home. The house became a haven of love and peace, where Alejandro and Carolina enjoyed their time together, contemplating the beauty of the sea from their window. As the years passed, Alejandro and Carolina grew older, but their love remained unwavering. Together, they celebrated their silver and golden wedding anniversaries, remembering shared moments and creating new memories that added to their love story. And so, sailing together in the ocean of life, Alejandro and Carolina proved that true love knows no barriers, not even the biggest ones like distance and time. Their passion and commitment guided them throughout the years, always reminding them that love is the most powerful force that exists. At every sunrise and sunset, Alejandro and Carolina looked into each other's eyes, remembering the day they met on that golden beach. They knew that their passionate and long-distance love had been the beginning of a beautiful and eternal love story. Together, they had found true happiness, a happiness that can only be found when you love and are loved deeply. Time continued its relentless march, and Alejandro and Carolina reached a stage where her hair was dotted with gray and her hands had accumulated wrinkles of wisdom. But their love was still as vibrant as in the early days. In their oceanfront home, they devoted themselves to cultivating a beautiful garden where flowers danced to the rhythm of the sea breeze. They spent quiet afternoons holding hands, sharing stories and laughter. Every moment together was a treasure, and they delighted in each other's company. Their son, inspired by his parents' unwavering love, had built a family of his own. Alejandro and Carolina enjoyed the joy of being grandparents and seeing their love passed down through the generations. Their grandchildren were growing up surrounded by love and learning the value of unity and commitment. One afternoon, while enjoying a cup of tea on the porch, Alejandro and Carolina looked into each other's eyes and felt the need to share their story with the world. They decided to write a book about their love, a story that could inspire others to strive for true love and to never give up in the face of hardship. Together, they immersed themselves in the task of putting into words their journey full of passion and challenges. Each page was a reflection of their love, a testament to the power of commitment and the strength of the human heart. The book was enthusiastically received, and Alejandro and Carolina became symbols of hope and perseverance for those in search of true love. Over time, their story became a legacy that transcended time and left an imprint on every heart that read it. People sought them out to hear their wisdom and advice on lasting love. Their words resonated with young couples who wanted to build a strong relationship and those who needed to be reminded that love can overcome any distance. At every conference and event they attended, Alejandro and Carolina radiated radiant love. They inspired others to love with courage, to face adversity with hope, and to never stop fighting for what really matters. As the years progressed, Alejandro and Carolina's love grew even stronger. They became life accomplices, soulmates who understood each other with a glance. Their love had given them a full and meaningful life, and they knew they would continue to sail together until the end of their days. Finally, when the time came to say goodbye to this world, Alejandro and Carolina did so in peace and surrounded by the love of their family. Their love story endured in the hearts of those who had been touched by it, leaving a legacy of eternal love. Today, their grandchildren and great-grandchildren gather around the family table, listening attentively to the stories of Alejandro and Carolina. Their love lives on in the smiles of their descendants and in the words of those who have learned from their example. Alejandro and Carolina's story of passionate, long-distance love became a legend, a reminder that true love can overcome any obstacle. And as long as the waves of the sea continue to caress the beach, their story will continue to inspire generations to come to love with all their being and to never stop believing in the power of love. The legacy of Alejandro and Carolina's love extended far beyond their earthly lives. In a place beyond time and space, their souls met again in an eternal reunion. In that heavenly realm, where physical limitations did not exist, Alejandro and Carolina embraced each other with indescribable joy. Their souls instantly recognized each other, remembering every moment shared on earth and the strength of their love that had withstood all trials. Together, they walked through golden meadows and plunged into rivers of light, exploring a new plane of existence. Their love transcended the barriers of time and space, and they met again and again in different forms and experiences. In that eternal realm, Alejandro and Carolina found the peace and fulfillment they had longed for in life. Together, they explored new horizons and embarked on endless adventures. Every moment was a celebration of their love, a cosmic dance that united their souls in perfect harmony. Although time had no meaning in that ethereal realm, their love continued to grow and evolve. They discovered new ways of expressing themselves and immersed themselves in the very essence of universal love. Their love expanded into infinity, embracing all beings and connecting them in an unbreakable web of love. Meanwhile, on Earth, the legacy of Alexander and Caroline endured. Their stories and teachings were passed down from generation to generation, inspiring others to love bravely and to seek the eternal connection that true love can offer. At every sunset and in every sea breeze, sensitive souls could feel Alejandro and Carolina's presence, reminding them that love never dies and that their passionate, long-distance love story transcended the boundaries of human existence. And so, Alejandro and Carolina's eternal reunion became living proof that true love is eternal. Their story became a beacon of hope, reminding everyone that although circumstances may separate lovers on the physical plane, love always finds a way to reunite them in eternity. In every heart that was touched by their story, Alejandro and Carolina's love continued to shine, reminding us that true love is a sacred gift that transcends all. And as long as the world turns and the stars continue to illuminate the sky, their love will live on, leaving an indelible mark on the infinite universe. The legacy of Alejandro and Carolina's love endured over time, leaving an indelible mark on the lives of those who had been touched by their story. Their love transcended physical and temporal barriers, becoming a source of inspiration for generations to come. The book that Alejandro and Carolina had written about their love became a worldwide success, reaching thousands of readers around the world. The words captured in its pages resonated in the hearts of those seeking true love and deep connection. Alejandro and Carolina's legacy also manifested itself in charitable works and charitable actions. Inspired by their story, many couples decided to donate their time and resources to help those who needed it most. The Eternal Love Foundation, established in honor of Alejandro and Carolina, became a force for change and hope in the world. In addition, Alejandro and Carolina's unwavering love was reflected in the love and dedication their children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren showed to their own partners. Their love story became a role model, reminding them that true love requires patience, commitment, and sacrifice. Over time, Alexander and Caroline became legends, revered as symbols of eternal love. Statues were erected in their honor, reminding everyone that love transcends the limitations of earthly life. As generations passed, the name of Alexander and Caroline lived on in the conversations and hearts of those who appreciated the beauty and strength of love. Their story was depicted in films and plays, bringing their legacy to an even wider audience. Finally, when the last descendant of Alexander and Caroline closed their eyes for the last time, their souls were united once again in that eternal realm. There, they found themselves surrounded by those who had been touched by their story, and together, they continued their journey into eternity. Alejandro and Carolina's love had left an indelible mark on the universe. Their story lingered in every heart that had been touched by it, reminding them that true love is capable of overcoming all barriers and living beyond life itself. And so, her story came to an end, but her legacy remained forever. Alejandro and Carolina's passionate, long-distance love had left an indelible mark on the world, reminding us that love is the most powerful bond that can exist. Their souls, intertwined in that eternal realm, embraced each other with love and gratitude. They knew that their journey together would never end, because true love is eternal and transcends all boundaries. In the depths of the universe, Alejandro and Carolina's love will continue to shine, guiding those who seek true love and reminding them that, in the embrace of their loved one, they can find the happiness and fulfillment they have always longed for.